Okay, we're back for round 3. Hoping to 3 out here. Been liking how our deck's performing so far. I feel like last round we definitely shouldn't have won, but our opponent's deck didn't really have much in terms of like high impact spells, or at least they didn't draw it towards the end, even though they basically scried their whole deck. So yeah, I don't really know what was going on there, but we won, so we're good. Alright, we're on the draw. Yeah, this is a keep. We can get a Plains with the Evolving Wilds. We'll wait to crack, obviously. This is a pretty good curve. I'm glad our opponent didn't play a 2-drop. That makes our hand a lot better. We would like to be drawing some lands at some point soon. Getting to 4, I think, will be especially important. But obviously 6 would be ideal as well. Alright, that's a Nighthawk tapped. We can sower that, but yeah, that seems to be, that's going to be a problem if we can't hold control of it permanently. Alright, what can we potentially spell Queller here? Not the Disfigure. We just get hit for 2. I wonder if we just play the Queller. It's really blank against the Nighthawk, so I don't think we can. Yeah, I think we just have to Queller whatever this is. Opponent is mono black, so they're going to have a lot of removal, so that's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, and we didn't draw a 3rd land, so we're in pretty rough shape here, it looks like. But we're just going to do what we can. This seems like a pretty bad matchup for us. Yeah, Skin Render is pretty brutal here. We can't even pressure the opponent's life total. The Nighthawk really does away with all of that. We draw... Okay, so we drew a land. We can sower the Nighthawk, and then we're getting somewhere at least. I think I'll start by attacking for 4. Even though we were behind on life total, I think we really want to be pressuring life total this game. I think that's how we win. It's usually how you win when your opponent has something like a Phyrexian Arena or Dark Confidant, stuff like that. Ideally, we could trade off this Nighthawk pretty quickly, because our opponent is bound to draw into some removal being mono-black. If we get to untap, we can leave up Venser for a little bit of protection. Yeah, we'll take 5. The plan is to be able to deal with our opponent's attackers pretty shortly. Okay, that's a Liliana. That's interesting. Here, I think we definitely want to leave back the Nighthawk and probably attack with both of the other creatures. Then leave up Venser. I like how this is going. How our play is shaping up. I mean, not exactly how the game's going. Next turn, we could potentially Frost Titan, which would be sweet. Hopefully this is a big spell that we can Venser. Alright, opponent is floating mana, so the idea would just be to Venser this, the Obliterator sort of end of turn. Wow, the opponent is at 8. How did the opponent get to 8? I guess we've just been attacking for a lot. Either way, so the plan here will be to... I guess if we can hit the opponent for 6, they might be dead. So let's see what we can do here. We can block the lifelinker with the Nighthawk. That does gain our opponent 2 life. I don't... Oh, but then we can still attack back for more. So, yeah, our plan is just going to be bounce the Obliterator, hope the opponent doesn't have... like a removal spell or a targeting spell with the 2 mana and only 1 card. And then we take 5, but the opponent goes to 10. Then we attack back for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And, oh, even 9, 10 actually with Venser. So, yeah, we might be in a decent shape here, depending on what is the last card in the opponent's hand. Let's see what this is. Fatal Push. Interesting. I guess not exactly interesting. But what we can do here, we can bounce the Sower and then retake the Nighthawk. Or we could plan... We could play Venser, bounce Obliterator, or bounce Nighthawk. Probably Obliterator. Then hope to draw a land for Frost Titan. Huh. This is extremely tricky. I think our best play here is going to be to Venser Sower. Because we can also take the Obliterator here if we want to. Fatal Push doesn't do anything. And we drew land. Okay, so here we can Frost Titan the Obliterator and then probably attack with Frostwalker. That seems like a good play. We're casting powerful spells here. We're doing okay, I think. We do want to be careful about like Mutavault attacks and such, but this, I think the opponent will trade here because they know we have Sower. But yeah, I think we're actually in a decent spot here, depending on what the opponent draws, of course. Opponent controls, so we can unblockable Frost Titan for free, which is interesting to know. Yeah, opponent basically just has access to infinite mana. The Night Veil Spectre and a Grave Titan. Alright, well, that's going to be a problem. We can Sower it, though. Yeah, I think Sower is the most high impact play we can make this turn, so we're just going to do this. Take Grave Titan. I think we still attack with Frost Titan. Tap the Obliterator, because it gets us one more turn of tapping the Obliterator, and it forces... well, we basically just kill a Night Veil Spectre and a zombie, or probably a Skinrender and a zombie, actually. But I honestly think it's worth it for another turn not having to deal with the Obliterator. And then Grave Titan hopefully can clean up. Yeah, it looks like this is what's happening. A zombie and one other thing is going to get destroyed. Yep. Skinrender, that makes sense. Okay, so things are not shipping up as well as they were the previous turn. But our opponent doesn't have access to any life gain anymore, so their life total is definitely under pressure. This is a pretty important spell, whatever it is. They can also attack us with Night Veil, although likely they can't get anything that is able to cast this turn. Alright, that's a Sword of Light and Shadow. That's, unfortunately, that is very good. That is extremely good here, wow. Oh boy. Okay, I think the plan then is going to be block with Sower and then hope to drop a white source next turn. Yeah, but we're in dire straits. Alright, equip to the other fairy. Well, the fairy died, so that's interesting. Okay, Path to Exile. Not exactly what we wanted to draw, but it's something. We probably have to Path Grave Titan? Chump block the other two. Something like that. Like Path Grave Titan and block everything else. Or with this, I think we have to path the Obliterator. I think I did the math correctly on that. Yeah, we're not going to win this game. We'll take 4 here. There's an argument to be made for not letting the opponent see another card out of our deck, but I think it's more likely that we draw something that we forgot was in our deck or something like that. And when in doubt, you should just not concede. Alright, I don't think there's... we could bring in Negate, I guess. The opponent's deck seems pretty creature-based. We could also bring in this Sword, which doesn't seem too bad, although we do have, you know, Phantasmal Bear and Frostwalker and like Thalia and stuff like that. So I'm a little more hesitant to bring that in. I don't know what we want to cut exactly. Opponent has a lot of enter the battlefield creatures. I think I'm okay cutting an Aether Adept, and I think Sword is going to be better than Negate. Negate isn't specifically good against our opponent's deck. We just saw some good targets. So I think, yeah, we'll bring in this protection from black, so let's see where that gets us. Okay, we'll play first. This looks like a keep. Hopefully we'll be able to beat down for a lot. Yeah, this does seem like a bad matchup. Plus the opponent's deck seems very good. Gotta remember we are in the finals. Unfortunately, we can't really play that Colonnade where it fits well into our curve. If we draw another land, we will probably try to leave up Dissipate next turn, an untapped one I mean. But if we don't, I'm probably just going to play Colonnade. Even though we'd rather obviously have an untapped land. Okay, yeah, so we'll just do the Dissipate thing here. Potentially I could see Venser bouncing a Fairy, attacking for just to get in another 4 damage. Alright, yeah, we're going to Dissipate this. And then I think Venser Bounce Fairy, the turn after Restoration Angel, Venser Bounce Fairy, seems like a good sequence here. Just getting in a ton of damage, and the opponent has a Bitter Blossom active, so... And we just countered a life gain source. This is a very aggressive line to be taking, but I think it's the right one. Yeah, so the opponent's already down to 10. And then depending on what they play here... Alright, that's a good one, actually. And they play Liliana. Okay. I think we're in trouble here. We could try to ambush the Liliana, which I think we're going to do. And we can also start attacking with Colonnade. Opponent likely has a removal spell here, but not much we can do if they do. Maybe like a Fatal Push, and we would still get the Liliana, which is a totally fine trade for us. Yeah, no, they have something else. Alright, that sucks. Okay, here we can either try to attack, or we can play Thalia and Vendilion Clique, and I think I want to go with the second option. The opponent's Liliana is gaining enough life that I don't think going directly for the life total is going to be very good here. I think we probably want to click on Draw Step, just to see if our opponent has like one kind of really high impact spell that we can get rid of. But yeah, it's not looking good for our chances here. Alright, opponent is destroying Thalia, and we get to see what else they have going on, or not yet. Okay, now we get to see. Cryptghast, I think we gotta get rid of that. But yeah, okay, so opponent has traded card for card, and we are far behind because the Bitter Blossom has been doing work all game. So yeah, we're not looking good here. Well, now we might be looking a little bit better. Elspeth is definitely very solid here. It's going to take a while for the opponent to bring her down with fairies. But the opponent could easily draw some sort of high impact spell. So we're not nearly out of the woods yet. And Elspeth is getting killed, you know, if we don't draw anything that changes that. I think we have to triple block with soldiers here. We could single block, actually, in case the opponent drew a removal spell. But I think, since they hesitated, I think they don't have a removal spell, because it would have been much more automatic. I think this is more of a, oh, I can safely attack because the opponent will think it's a bluff. Or the opponent will think I did draw a removal spell. But since they hesitated, I think they actually didn't. It's sort of a subtle thing. I might have been wrong about that, but it looks like I happen to be right. Yeah, interesting decision there. Uh-oh. Okay, Profane Command is pretty good there. What did it do? Did it bring us down life? Yeah, target player loses X life. Okay, so we lost a bunch of life. That's important, but it's not key. The question is whether we want to leave up Colonnade to block, or whether we want to attack with it this turn and get in for some damage. Blocking allows us to leave up mana to like bluff a counterspell, but The real decision is how much it affects the Elspeth clock, is in terms of when Elspeth dies. And I don't think it affects that clock, so I think we want to get in damage with it now. So this turn, Elspeth is going to take 3, going down to 1. And then the next turn, Elspeth was if I activated Colonnade both turns, Elspeth would take 2, then plus, then take another 3, and so would die. So I think because of that math, we want to attack with Colonnade this turn. We would be eating fairies, which is also important, so that's not a clear-cut decision, but I like being able to attack with Colonnade every turn, and the pressure that really puts our opponent under, so I think we're going to go with that. Plus the opponent, well, I guess they can block with the fairy. Oh, that's Skin Render, yeah. Opponent just keeps drawing 2-for-1s, basically. I mean, that's what the mono black deck basically does. Yeah, all we can do is plus Elspeth and attack again this turn. Don't really have any good attacks with our guys on the ground. We can hold off Liliana and hopefully, you know, defeat the opponent through Bitter Blossom, but we're going to have to draw sort of another source of damage if we're doing that. Yeah, I think we just have to triple block the Skin Render. Our soldiers are not doing enough with this Liliana staring them down, and we're at a decently low life total. That does flip Liliana, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. I wasn't totally keeping that into account, but each player discards a card. Well, the opponent can play out their hand, and then... Alright, they did not do that. Okay, so here we can attack with Colonnade and then play Sovereign, so we're going to do that. The question is, do we attack Liliana, or do we attack the opponent? I believe opponent is pretty clearly correct here. They will block with Fairy. We will play Imposing Sovereign. And we will pass. This might be a pretty close game. They can bring back Skin Render, kill the Sovereign, which is good. I think the opponent might be making an attack that leaves them dead. I'm definitely wrong. I was assuming that they were just automatically taking damage from the Colonnade. Okay, so this next turn, what we can do is just Cryptic tap the opponent's team, which I like. But for now, I think, let's see, Liliana can return a 1-cost. This Cryptic Vent was very good, to be clear. But, yeah, so right now, I think the best bet is to just kill Liliana and deal the opponent 1 or 2 if they choose to take the damage, but I bet they'll block. Or wait, yeah, okay, this still does leave the opponent dead. Can I play around a removal spell? I don't believe I can. So yeah, we're just going to attack Liliana. Yeah, we need to kill Liliana, obviously, because of the Cryptic Command. Okay, so we are just going to attack Liliana, attack the opponent, see if that tricks into not taking damage, but likely they will just block the one attacking them. Okay, they took it all, so our plan is looking good here. Just need to make sure that we, on the opponent's beginning of combat step, tap down the creatures. If they try to play a spell, we can obviously counter and tap, but here I think we just want to tap draw. Yeah, that's going to be the best option for us. I don't think returning something to its hand does anything. Yeah, so we just want to do this. Unless the opponent drew something very good, it looks like we're going to win this game. It's a Crystal Shard already. That can do things. Alright, okay, we got game 2. So we'll go to game 3. Try to pull off another close victory like that, ideally. I don't think we really want to bring in anything. Negate might be okay, but, like, again, the opponent's threats are mostly creatures, actually, so I don't think it's that powerful, and we don't really have anything great that we... or, like, great to cut, is what I mean. Alright, this is a keep. Unfortunately, we can't equip Sword to Frostwalker, but we'll do what we can here. I think we want to get an island with this Evolving Wilds. I still think we want to get an island, just because we have like triple blue and such. Probably lead on Frostwalker, and then go Sword, and then the next turn Youth and equip Sword, something like that. Although Bitter Blossom might change that. I'm not sure. Yeah, unfortunately, in this game, I think Frostwalker is just going to trade with a fairy, so we're just going to have to bite that bullet. Frostwalker is a horrible card when your opponent has Bitter Blossom and you have a sword. This is a Liliana. It's a Nightveil Spectre, okay. Yeah. Yet again, this game is not shaping out so great for us. I think we're just going to try to attack for 4. The opponent likely blocks. Yep. Predictable. And play our sword. We can get back the Frostwalker, so I guess that's the reason sort of to make that trade early. It's basically free to an extent. Basically, we're relying on this Cloistered Youth to just go all the way this game, which is unlikely, but possible. Liliana, okay. Okay, so we're just going to hope the opponent doesn't have Fatal Push. And hope that this Cloistered Youth can take the game all the way. The life gain's good. The getting creatures back is good. I mean, this sword is definitely going to do a lot of work for us this game. But our opponent seems to just have a lot more action going on as it often is the case. All right, we can sower that Malote.